Rockets basketball tonight. We've got the top two out west. The fifth up that 16th technical foul against Utah. The Rockets are
downhill. Oklahoma City's the most action, and the key against a great defense, you must create action. Secondary spacing. When you move the ball a few times, you're going to get open looks, knock it down, and you can loosen up Oklahoma City's defense.
And the first shot of the game is a three by Chet Holmgren. As this season has gone along, Oklahoma City, as we all expected, they've really improved their three-point shooting, now amongst the best in the league from the three-point line off the pick. Van Fleet, his first shot of three, no good. A rebound cleared by Dort. He'll race into the other side of the floor and then had it stripped away by Van Fleet, and he goes behind his back and saves it to Jalen Green, and here come the Rockets again. He'll pull up. Oh, touched every... Green had that incredible game late last season in Oklahoma City, but this season's really struggled, and that went all... Come up with steals, come up with a ton of deflections.
Right now, the challenge you're going to see with the double big lineup is defensively guarding the three-point line. Already gave up one to Holmgren and then two steals since.
And pretty move by Oklahoma City team, which is full of great shooters.
Well, you can assume at some point the double big will be in zone, and we'll just keep an eye on that.
And that gets poked away by Adams. Here comes Amen Thompson. Has Dort backtracking and dunks it down.
We talked about or give up a bucket.
So that's a quick 7 straight points by Houston. Green picks up Williams, takes him off the bounce, comes into the lane, got to the rim and scored.
You got some powerful guards over there at OKC.
Thompson to Van Vliet, fakes it, comes into the lane, now back to Amen Thompson, the dish into Şengün, steps under Holmgren and
scores it. And here's the zone we talked about, Craig.
And we'll see how they defend the Thunder. They get the turnover, bad pass, here comes Thompson again.
There you go. Force someone to step up, and nobody does.
Deflection away from Gilgeous-Alexander. Boy, the Rockets, they're active. And you kind of talked about this when you talked about your keys, Ryan. When you play over rust and physicality, right? Because they're going to do all that to you all game long.
Oh, they're physical. They're going to grab and hold. They're undersized, but they are tough, and they move their feet, and they don't like to give up an inch.
And if you don't stay in attack mode at both ends of the floor against Oklahoma City, you can get in big-time trouble.
You're right about that. You know, they'll crowd you, they'll turn you over, and that's not a place you want to be in.
SGA, turned back by Adams to Hartenstein to Dort, run off the three-point line. Now in the corner to Holmgren's already made one, and now he's got a couple of threes.
So that's the tough part. When he starts spacing the floor and there's guards getting downhill, that's where Oklahoma City's tough.
His season-high scoring this year came against the Rockets. Van Vliet from Adams to Şengün, and
Şengün's free to just attack Holmgren because the help isn't there.
Spin, the block by Thompson, picks up the loose change. 5-on-2 the other way, over the top to Green, and defended by one. You got multiple top defenders in the league on the floor tonight. 2 on Şengün to Green. Gets by Dort, comes into the lane, goes up against that size and scores. He's the rim well. Basically, only the Cavaliers defend it better. Hartenstein scores.
And what Ime, but another big key is Şengün at Holmgren. We're seeing it right now. When Şengün goes straight through Holmgren, it is a tough sledding for OKC. Toyota Center's going to have to be rocking in. You got something to do.
Double-doubles. He's double-doubled in 2 of the 3 games again.
I'll tell you how ruthless Ime is. You know, whoever Holmgren's on, he's either going to have to box out Steven Adams, which I'm sure he doesn't want to do, or guard Şengün one-on-one on the block.
Williams, not very good spacing here by the Thunder. Now to Dort, and his three's no good.
They're not as efficient. Their double big doesn't work the way Houston's double big works. And what happens?
No, won the Coach of the Year last year. Easily could win it again this year, as is the case
about that, Craig. And you can see the development in Oklahoma City and leaps and bounds. I think it's got to be Ime's to win because of what he's done for this organization. And there goes more skilled players in the NBA.
Almost lost it. Now he'll go one-on-one with Holmgren. Gets right into his chest spin. Shot put, no. Stays with the play, and the rebound eventually cleared by Holmgren. Comes into the front court. Comes back to Williams. Thought about lining up the 3. Now they swing it around to Gilgeous-Alexander. Working on Thompson, loses him. That's not easy to do, and he did knock down in drives and points off drives. OKC Thunder, the Thunder, they're second in the league as a team on the rim from the three-point line. And
we haven't seen from Ime. Goes from double big to small.
And there's a 20-foot 2 by Williams.
Now this lineup is going to have to keep the ball in front, but they can switch everything.
Jabari now playing the 5, and another.
You love right now, Jalen's in attack mode, and it went right at Lou Dort, was not shy.
SGA
Zones that you don't see too often. You just got to take your hat off and yes.
These teams are playing for the 5th time in a single season, for the first time since 1988. Green again, got by Dort, got by Holmgren, missed the corkscrew layup though. And now OKC comes the other way, looking to tie with a 3. Dort into the lane. Gets turned back by Tari Eason, now to Kaysen Wallace. Back to Gilgeous-Alexander. And that little looper.
Here's the thing with Shea. At some point, he's their only offense, and it's been like that all season, but he plays on ball and off ball just as good.
Green by Wallace to Eason down the
second time he made Oklahoma pay.
Yeah, there he is.
Decelerate. It's special.
Green off the pick, missed the 3. Alexander averaging almost 33 a game, a career high, tops in the league. Williams on Van Vliet.
Oh, they have been so dominant on both ends, and a team that already was really good came back and got better.
Williams and knockdown 3s as well.
You might have to go get him soon.
And here's Caruso just in a game, and well,
open.
Twice named Caruso has been to an all-defensive team. Again, Oklahoma City, the best defense in basketball. Here's Smith over Holmgren.
Well, till you guys retire, and then even on some more.
Jabari looking for his 3rd straight double-double. Caruso into the lane, back to Wallace. Comes back out to Holmgren over Eason on the closeout. Missed that one.
Well, Craig, we talked about the double big may not guard the 3s as well, but this lineup can guard the perimeter.
And Green drawing a back in.
Zone here from Oklahoma City.
Now Tari to Green up top, weaving into the lane. Throws up a wild one, Lake Charles. So Oklahoma City out of the timeout. Williams from the corner, rim short. Rockets are outscoring the Thunder 7-0 in terms of fast break points to start the game. That's a good sign because trying to score against their set half-court defense can be a challenge. Here's Eason, almost lost the ball. And then did have Shea Gilgeous-Alexander probably also deserves a spot in an all-defensive team this year as well.
He makes plays, but does he guard the other? It's just that Dort's the one putting in that work.
They have multiple candidates. That's why they're the best defense in the league. That layup too strong. Tip try by Caruso, also no good. Rockets will push tempo again. There's the lob, and there's the incredible reverse jam. Buzzes balance back. The Rockets come again. Green pulling back over Williams to 3. Air ball, but that lead here because that challenge by the Thunder unsuccessful. So they are now no longer able to challenge anything else. The rest challenges left.
Yeah, and for player safety, the reason that Spurs, he's playing against the Warriors, and he was never the same since, but he was stepped on, that foot was laid out. So you've got to allow, as you said, Craig, the shooter someplace to land, and that was not allowed, and that's why Jalen landed doing the splits.
Well, Jalen has 14 first-quarter points. Let me remind you, I mentioned this just a few moments ago. He's only averaged 13 against the Thunder this season. Great start for him. 7 straight for the Rockets. They're up 10. There's the lob. There's the dunk. Hartenstein.
Yeah, that's the how the nail to help on those tight curl plays with Hartenstein. They love to throw that ball in the air for him.
Former Rocket Isaiah Hartenstein. Thompson went right at him. Missed the shot. Şengün fights for the board.
And it wasn't a perfect
top seed out west. They're running away with it. So the Rockets are trying to lock in the 2 seeds, though this game ultimately means a bit more to them than it does to Oklahoma City. As Williams now has 2 fouls and Şengün misses the free pace for 69. So they're on pace to have one of the best seasons in the history of the sport. And they've won 11 in a row coming to play today. So, well,
you're right about that, Craig. And, you know, big picture, when Houston's going to play with the league's best, we've always said it, you got to have Şengün or Jalen Green playing at a high clip, if not both, if they're going to compete. And that's why those offensive lulls have been there. So Houston right now answering the question of Jones started it on fire. Both of them have been spectacular so far.
And this season, as he finds Şengün, swings it to Jabari, now to Tari. Good ball movement, misses the 3 of the rebound to Oklahoma City. The Rockets have been this season amongst the best teams against for the Rockets. Adams will play the 5. There's the lob intended for Thompson. Comes back out to a wide open Tari Eason, who rims down.
Motion and throws it on target to Tari Eason. He hit him so far on target that he had time to just line that one up.
Now for the 4th straight game, Tari Eason really shooting the ball well.
Steven Adams really commanding the paint against Hartenstein.
Spent his first 7 years with Oklahoma City, did Steven Adams. Ultimately selected with the pick that was part of the James Harden trade. Sets the pick for Tari Eason out of Van Vliet.
Hartenstein, a former Rocket, and Steven, a former Thunder.
And there's Fred, an incredible night.
Yeah, well, they dared him, and they played him one-on-one. They didn't want Fred to get Houston going passing, and he burnt up with, just target a guy with his...
He missed 7 games recently with a hip injury. He's scored 20-plus against the Rockets now for 2 consecutive seasons.
He's a guy who can be up for an all-NBA defensive team.
Yep. Made his first All-Star
It's not that Shea's
team.
not a good defender, but he's got 2 guys on his own team that take the other team's best.
I think they both can be considered, but yeah, Jalen Williams made an All-Star team for the first time, like Alperen Sengun. There's Tari Eason. The Rockets were up 12. Here's Williams. Pulling back, doesn't take the shot. Now to Caruso, to Hartenstein, back to him, sets the pick, and allows him to take that elbow.
Because Steven Adams really doing a good job zoning up the paint.
Thompson finds Van Vliet, he makes his first.
And that's a great sign, because you know if you have to close out to Fred, he's going to find the open man every single...
2 top scorers. Tari draws 2, Thompson passes up to 3, comes into Caruso.
In my opinion, where Houston's guards have really improved, that hesitation has been gone from Aaron Holiday and Dylan Brooks, who's suspended here tonight, and Fred, but they're letting the ball go.
And that time, Adams and Hartenstein
from about 30 feet.
And of course, that game also featured a little scuffle.
Oh. Maybe we get a scuffle here tonight, and that's where the Rockets play best.
Just 2 turnovers for the Rockets in this half, which is a good thing, because Oklahoma City forces more turnovers than any team in the league. And when they do, they absolutely get out in the open floor and just burn you. So ball security is very important against these guys. Easier said than done. They only have 2 fast break points. The Rockets have 14.
That's where Houston's been really good tonight, just attacking.
Hartenstein loops it in. He's 3 for 3.
And Williams and Hartenstein have made plays on both ends the last few trips.
Both teams shooting above 50% from the floor. Again, as this season's gone along, Oklahoma City's shooting has gotten back to what it needs to be, and takes it from the corners.
Craig, he's so competitive, he doesn't like to be disrespected, and Oklahoma City went so far under that 3 that Amin Thompson pulled up, and that's the right play.
Rockets get the miss, the outlet pass thrown right back to Williams, to Wallace, he's open. He rims it short, and then Williams and Thompson go after the loop. Adams. Back the Rockets come. Caruso pressuring Smith, and third effort had it stripped away. Into the body of Smith goes Williams.
That's the push-off that we talked about.
And then he and Caruso not on the same page. Turnovers, again, a key if you're going to play with and or beat the Oklahoma City Thunder.
You got to match their physicality, because if you shy away a little bit, they're going to keep on coming.
Sengun has Caruso on him, catches it at the elbow. Backs him down, whirls, and scores.
That's the right play. Much, Craig.
13 now for Sengun, 5 of 7 shooting. Wallace is in trouble, now to Hartenstein. He comes through the lane, and Adams just rejects it. He swallowed that up. Van Vliet to Tate, back to him, he's wide open. Back to Tate, he'll now take the corner 3. Adams offensive rebound and puts.
Got 2 dynamic rebounders in there. Just put it up and good stuff will happen.
Williams to Caruso. Double big now, +7 for the night. Rockets with their biggest lead here at 13, halfway through this second quarter.
But look who's on Sengun now. You know, you're going zone, and he's skilled enough to work this matchup.
It's Wallace. Falls down, Sengun into the lane, Adams another putback. And Wiggins in, now to Dort, the relocation up top to Holmgren.
His zone really throwing off Oklahoma City, and it's something they've struggled with in the past.
The Rockets are just flying around. Holmgren, tough shot, missed it. Rebound Smith. Rockets, they have come to play tonight.
Shingun's got it inside.
Yep, being fronted by Williams, and then Tate just had it ripped away from him. Perfect start to this game, works around the top of the circle, now dancing on Dort. Kicks it to Thompson, another three for him, you bet. That's two triples.
Personal, and that's what Oklahoma City's done. Well, for now, maybe Vanessa can get a call, but fun stuff so far.
Oh my gosh, it's 14. This is as good as we've seen this group play this year.
Yeah, if you had to draw, you'd like to see, and I'm telling you, against this group, there's no let up. You're gonna have to keep going at them.
Against this team that they're playing here tonight, to be up by 20 in the manner that they've gotten that lead, impressive. Now, a long way to go for Houston.
Good help there from Amin Thompson.
Wiggins, good three-point shooter. Makes it.
The thing about Oklahoma City, man, they're a true team. They trust, though. There's no weak link offensively.
Oh.
Now, Tate just got steamrolled. Then they walk through and shoot around.
Dort strong, rebound Thompson. He'll look to push. OKC, though, gets in front of the ball. Now Shingun right to the body again. I thought for sure they were going to call that on Chet, but they called the third on Dort. Makes the free. Oklahoma City tonight, the best team in the league. Their longtime nemesis, Golden State, on the road days ago, and then they wrap it up here at home against Denver and Nikola Jokic. And Denver just beat the Rockets the last time they were in town.
Craig, I know you can be frustrated seeing that, but I think for our young group, that is great because they go in war ready into the playoffs.
It's a tough schedule, and the Rockets can't. They got to keep winning. Drop step, spin, layup, Alperen Sengun.
Fried. Good work from Shingun, straight at Holmgren.
And from what we've seen in the early careers of Shingun v. Chet Holmgren, if Chet wins the battle, Oklahoma City wins. If Alp does, the Rockets are very good and have a lot of success, and that's going to be a pass. Here's Chet, and he makes it. He's got 9.
The staggered bigs, and Ime's going to match up. Holmgren's going to have to guard Shingun.
Green to Thompson.
That is just pretty, and just reading the help. That's where he's gotten so much better.
Williams couldn't finish. Here come the Rockets again. A little rip and run. Back to Smith. He'll pull up. He'll make. Oh, my goodness. The stuff from this team here in this first half.
I'll tell you one thing. Houston's got a long memory, and they know the last time they saw Oklahoma City, they were not their best.
Jabari already with 11 rebounds.
Oh, he's been so good. I'm telling you, man, he's a glue guy, and coming off the bench, man, has been such a blessing for this group.
And 7 points, and that's going to be a walk. Was not deflected. Shingun
Thompson right in stride there for the dunk.
4 assists for the Rockets. Jalen Green in this half. Thompson has 5.
Team's starting to do that. Setting a screen and then slip it to the middle of the floor. Then see how Houston adapts to that. Let's see if the double comes.
In rhythm, the 3, deep one, in and out.
Oh, man, I like that. It doesn't go in for Jalen Green, but that was good synergy between our 2 young stars.
Williams into the lane. Shingun with the block, but also got him with the body.
I think Shingun feels like he gloved this, man. I don't know if it was.
281-222-2222.
We had a couple calls, a couple games ago, said it was minimal contact.
And they miss, but the Rockets can't get the rebound. Inside of a minute to play in the first half.
He's so strong, man. I mean, he gets down, he gets under those shoulders and just goes.
Well, it's not just SGA that gets into the paint and drives. It's also Jalen Williams.
SGA, wants to take a breather. Jalen will get aggressive.
Green into the lane, draws a crowd, finds Tari in the corner.
Just great game from Jalen Green, man. Reading defensive coverages and the steal.
Alexander took his eyes off of it, lost it, stolen by Green, gets a wrap.